Introduction to 4x5 was a class taught at the University of Iowa this spring. The class introduced students to large format photography, a very old yet relevant form of film photography. The students had to complete a final project for the class, and those projects were shown to the public at Deadwood Tavern on Friday, May 6th. The class was taught by professional photographer Jeff Rich, who has been teaching the class for the past few years.
So we've been doing this show since 2013. We did it, the first time we did it was in December of 2013. It was like 10 degrees up here. But the reason I wanted to do it was just to break out of the school. Not that there's anything wrong with showing at the school, but I just wanted to have this sort of more accessible spot, and this more kind of centralized spot where students could have a show and open it up to their friends and just have kind of a nice time and show the work to the community more than necessarily all their peers at school. I have been shooting 4x5 since about 2005 and 2004, 2005, and I have always liked teaching it because it's a very technical process, and so it's really fun to teach because it's a very kind of steep learning curve, and so the students are very intimidated at first by this sort of antique process, and it's really fun to kind of see them learn how to use the camera and just get really comfortable with it and be able to produce really interesting work that they've never produced before.
Sonny Wooden, a University of Iowa junior, was one of the students in the class. Sonny's final project was a series of self-portraits done to address racial stereotypes and how they apply to him.
4x5 is a very, very interesting mode of getting your ideas out. 4x5 is like the holy grail of photography. It's expensive and it's difficult. Ansel Adams did it with 8x10, which is nearly a sheet of paper. So the learning curve is definitely there, but once you get it, you got it. It's like riding a bike. I think most of photography is like riding a bike. You do it so often, you have to do it or you don't produce work. And if you look around, there's tons of work, so everyone was at a similar starting point as saying, I don't know what this camera does 14 weeks ago, and now we're putting up a show. So.
Peter Kim, a University of Iowa senior, also took the class. Peter took pictures of the night landscape in Iowa City for his final project to explore the relationship between the natural and artificial aspects of the scenery.
Yeah, definitely I grew a lot because this was my first darkroom photography class. Before this, I never even developed a film with my own hands. In fact, I barely ever took any film photography. But then from basically zero to the final photos that I'm gonna be putting up in the exhibition, it's so different. I've came so far in terms of how I use film camera, how I compose, how I guess think about taking photos overall.